Hey, what's up, guys? It's Matt Modi with OddsJam, and I'm incredibly excited because there are 5 WNBA games tonight. The WNBA is back after a hiatus. For those of you who were following along before, I was on a 7-game hit streak with my WNBA picks. I had hit 7 in a row, and then they had a 5-day hiatus for the All-Star break. It was devastating for me personally because I was riding such a hot streak. So I'm hoping to keep it going with my WNBA best bet for tonight. And what we're looking at here is I'm looking at a play that I found on the OddsJam Positive Expected Value page, and I'm looking at the over in the New York Liberty versus Las Vegas Aces game. Over 172.5 minus 110 odds on BetMGM. So I have the bet up here. I'm putting the full WNBA McSlam on this one, which is $200. Normally, I have my McSlam at 125, but I've upped my unit size for the WNBA because of how successful I've been with the WNBA. So I'm upping my unit size to 200. So whatever you are betting on this game, I recommend the full 5-unit max place bet. So that is the bet that I have placed for the WNBA game. It's a really, really awesome bet, and let's talk through it. So again, of course, it's positive expected value. That is number one. That is the most important thing when it comes to placing bets, is making sure it's positive EV. The OddsJam line, which, as we all know, is pulled from the sharpest sportsbook in the world in terms of pricing odds. They brand themselves as winners welcome. They accept sharp action. They want sharp action, and they also are just available in more countries. So they have more of a betting market as well. So generally, the OddsJam line is going to be the most efficient betting market, and it's going to be the most accurate representation of what the market should be priced at. But before you can do anything, you need to remove the VIG and understand what the no VIG odds are. The VIG is just the juice that sportsbooks price up odds. It's how they make their money. They charge a % fee to the odds themselves, so they don't have to charge a transaction fee. So it's how the sportsbooks make their money, like I said. And it's important to remove the VIG to get an accurate representation of what the OddsJam line has prices at. This last column here is just market width. Market width is a way to measure confidence in what the OddsJam line is pricing their odds at. Anything that is 25 and below is a tight market that is worth betting. And it literally just measures the difference between these two numbers. The more confident the OddsJam line is in what they're pricing their numbers at, the closer these two numbers are going to be together. Market width literally just measures that difference. It's a way to measure the difference. So all in all, this equates to about 2.51% positive expected value. This can be viewed as your percent edge over the sportsbook. It can be viewed as your profit margin. Regardless of everything that I've talked about, this number is definitely the most important one. It's what you can figure to make in the long term for every $100 spent on a specific bet. So in this case, since I bet $200 on this one, my profit margin in actual dollars is going to be $5. Now, that doesn't seem like a lot on first glance, right? $5, whoop-de-doo. But you have to keep in mind this is one bet. I am having this $5, quote-unquote, settle before I go to sleep tonight. So if I place 10, 15, 20 bets, you add all those $5, all those $2.50 on top of each other, and that $5 becomes $50, $100, $200, depending on your bankroll and how much you're betting. Now, of course, it's important to understand that this is just your theoretical profit margin. If the bet wins, you get all of the profit. If your bet loses, you lose all of the risk. But it's important to understand that over the course of time, you'll be surprised to see that your actual profit will start to equal what your expected profit is as well. So this number, this expected profit, this positive EV percent, it's incredibly important to understand as you're going forward as a sports bettor. So everything for math reasons checks out. Of course, the number one thing I do before I decide whether I place a bet or not, aside from confirming the math, is you right-click, you open link in a new tab, and this just pulls up this page which shows where every other book has this total priced at. So we see, if we're just looking at this objectively, so BetMGM is literally the only book that offers this total at 172.5. WynnBET has it at 173. FanDuel, DraftKings, Betway, which is another sharp book, have it at 173.5. Betfred, PointsBet, Caesars, BetRivers, BetOnline, Heritage, OddsJam, which is again the sharpest sportsbook in the world, have it at 174. And then Bookmaker, another sharp book, has it at 174.5. So it's just remarkable. Literally every other book that has pricing for this market prices this total above 172.5. This 172 is not only an outlier from an odds perspective when you're comparing to the OddsJam line, but it's also an outlier when you look at every other market and every other book and what they price this at. So this is why WNBA betting has been so successful for me, because you can find so many discrepancies such as this where you're seeing mispriced odds. So I put the full McSlam on this one, as everybody saw. I put $200 on this one. Aces versus Liberty over 172.5. And just for basketball reasons, for handicapping reasons, I like it as well for a couple reasons. So the Aces, if we're just looking at this, so here are the advanced stats. The Aces have the best offense in the entire WNBA. Now the Liberty aren't as good, only 10th. That's not good at all. That's the third worst. But when you look at defensive rating, they also are among the bottom half of the league, as are the Aces. So two average defenses, one phenomenal offense, one not so good offense. And you also need to look at pace. Pace is one of the biggest barometers in terms of scoring, as actually less so offensive efficiency. Pace is number one. The Las Vegas Aces lead the WNBA in pace. Now again, the Liberty are on the slower end, which is obviously against the pace metric, but the Las Vegas Aces turn every one of their matches into a track meet. So because the Liberty generally play at a slower pace, they don't do that against the Aces. So everything checks out for this to be a really good WNBA bet, which is why I absolutely McSlammed it. So I recommend everybody tail this bet. It's a really good bet. If you do, let me know. Hit me up on Twitter. That's where I post a lot of my WNBA bets on Twitter. So follow me there, Modi_Matt. Comment on the video. Let me know you're tailing that way. Other than that, please remember to like the video, share with your friends, and then, of course, subscribe to the OddsJam YouTube channel. But that is all I got for you. So thank you guys for watching, and have a good one.